Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss a new pathogen. In previous lectures, we have studied Mycobacterium leprae, then we have studied Clostridium perfringens. Now the next pathogen, that is Treponema pallidum. So the next organism that we are going to discuss, that we are going to talk about, is Treponema pallidum. This organism, Treponema pallidum, it causes a disease, and that disease is called as syphilis. So this organism, it is responsible for a disease called as syphilis. So Treponema pallidum. Now, what is this organism? What is the chemical nature of this organism? What is the morphology of this organism, and how it causes disease? All this we are going to discuss in today's lecture. Okay. So this organism, Treponema pallidum. Actually, the word Treponema here, Tripos means thread, and nema means thread. So it is a thread-like organism which is present in the threads. So that is, and any organism that is present in a helix or in a thread, that is called as spirochete. So Treponema pallidum, it is a spirochete organism, and you all know that spirochete means a spiral organism like this. It is not a rod-shaped organism, not a bacillus. It is not a cocci-shaped organism. It is simply an spiral, that is spirochete organism, spirally arranged. So this organism, Treponema pallidum, it is an spirally arranged spirochete organism. This organism, it was first time discovered by two scientists actually, Schodin and Hoffmann. So it was first time discovered by Schodin and Hoffmann in the chancres. It was first time discovered in the chancres. Chancres means these are ulcers of genital tract. So these are genital ulcers. This organism was first time isolated and discovered by Schodin and Hoffmann in the chancres. Chancres, these are the genital ulcers. Ulcers means breaking of skin into the genital tract. That ulcer of genital tract is called as chancres. And it was also isolated from inguinal lymph node. Inguinal lymph node. So this organism, Treponema pallidum, was first time isolated by Schodin and Hoffmann from chancres and inguinal lymph node. What is inguinal lymph node? Means these are the lymph nodes present in the groin region. Groin region, we all know that groin region means the region which is present in between abdomen and thighs, that is called as groin. So, and the lymph nodes which are present in the groin are known as inguinal lymph nodes. So this organism was first time isolated from the chancres and inguinal lymph nodes from an infected person who was suffering from syphilis disease. Okay, as organism is Treponema pallidum, which causes a disease called as syphilis. Syphilis is an sexually transmitting disease. It is an sexually transmitting disease caused by Treponema pallidum. So it was isolated by these two scientists. Now this organism, the species name pallidum. Pallidum stands for pale colored. Actually this organism cannot be easily stained, but it appears pale colored, hence it is known as pallidum. Treponema pallidum causes a syphilis disease, and this organism, the most important identity of this organism is it is a spiral organism known as a spirochete. We all know spirochete means organism is present in the helix. हेलिकल फॅशन मध्ये ऑर्गॅनिझम जेव्हा अरेंज केलेला असतो की त्याची मॉर्फोलॉजी हेलिकल असते, तेव्हा आपण त्याला काय म्हणतो, स्पायरोचिट्स किंवा स्पायरल शेप ऑर्गॅनिझम म्हणतो. आपल्याला माहिती की शेपचे मेजरली बॅक्टेरियामध्ये तीन टाईपचे असतात, रॉड शेप, कोकाय शेप and spiral shape. Treponema pallidum, it is an spirochete, means it is an spiral organism. Okay, now this organism Treponema pallidum, it has three subspecies. Subspecies can also be called as strains. Similar characteristics आहेत पण थोडे वेरिएशन असल्यामुळे त्यांना आपण तीन सबस्पेसीज मध्ये कॅटेगराइज केले. म्हणजे अप्रॉक्सिमेटली ऑर्गॅनिझम तोच आहे, Treponema pallidumच आहे, पण त्याचे तीन वेगवेगळ्या टाइप्स आहेत, तीन सब स्पेसीज आहेत. म्हणजे तिघांच्यामध्ये थोडंफार व्हेरिएशन आहे. 80% सिमिलर कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आणि रिमेनिंग व्हेरिएशन असतं त्यांच्यामध्ये, म्हणून त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो सब स्पेसिस. इट इज अ बॉटम रँक विच इज प्रेझेंट जस्ट बिलो द स्पेसिस. स्पेसिसच्या खालची जी रँक असते त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो स्ट्रेन किंवा सब स्पेसिस म्हणतो. सो ट्रिपोनिमा पॅलिडमच्या 3 सब स्पेसिस आहेत. These are first Treponema pallidum subspecies pallidum, means Treponema pallidum pallidum. So this is a subspecies of Treponema pallidum. This subspecies Treponema pallidum pallidum is responsible for syphilis disease, a sexually transmitted disease known as syphilis. Next strain, that is Treponema pallidum subspecies endemicum. Subspecies endemicum. Again, this subspecies endemicum, it causes syphilis, but it causes endemic syphilis. It causes endemic. Endemic means limited or restricted to particular area. Pandemic means throughout the world. Endemic means एक particular area पुरताच limited होतो, त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो endemic. So Treponema pallidum subspecies endemicum, it causes endemic syphilis. Third subspecies of Treponema pallidum, and that is Pertineu. Pertineu species is responsible for a disease called as Yaws. Yaws disease. What is this Yaws disease? Yaws म्हणजे काय? It is an infection of skin, bone and joints in human beings. It is an infection caused by Treponema pallidum, but infection of skin, bones or it is an infection of skin, bones or joints, that is called as Yaws disease. So there are 3 subspecies. Treponema pallidum, pallidum causes syphilis. Treponema pallidum subspecies endemicum causes endemic syphilis, means limited, restricted to particular area. And then third one, that is Treponema pallidum subspecies Pertineu, which causes Yaws disease. Yaws, it is a skin infection or infection of bones or joints. So this is just a brief introduction about this organism, Treponema pallidum. Now let's see all the factors, all the characters of this organism one by one. First of all, we are going to discuss morphology of Treponema pallidum. Morphology. So morphologically, it is a spiral-shaped organism. First, that is morphology or morphological characters. So we know that it is a spiral-shaped organism, spirally arranged organism, spirochete. Okay, the size of this organism is approximately 10 micrometer long. Total length is 10 micrometer and 0.1 to 0.2 micrometer. This is the width. So if we draw the structure, this is an helical structure, spiral shaped structure of Treponema pallidum. The total length is 10 micrometer. Total length is 10 micrometer, and the width of this organism, this is the width. Width is 0.1 to 0.2 micrometer. It has 10 spirals. Suppose look at this. This is the turn, single turn, and हा जो एक turn असतो, this single turn is approximately of 1 micrometer. हा जो एक turn आहे, हा एक turn approximately 1 micrometer असतो. That means there are 10 spirals or 10 turns. Turn ला इथे आपण काय म्हणतो spirals. So this organism, it has 10 spirals, 10 turns, and each single spiral or single turn or single helix is of 1 micrometer. So the overall length becomes 10 micrometer. Okay, so this is an spiral shaped organism. It is very delicate organism. Very delicate means very sensitive and having tapering ends. Tapering ends. So very delicate, very sensitive organism, that is and spirochete organism. This spirochete organism, it is actively motile. Actively motile. But actively motile जरी असला तरी तिचे typical character आहे या organismचं की याचे जे फ्लॅजेला आपल्याला माहिती आहे की युजली कुठल्या बॅक्टेरियामध्ये फ्लॅजेला असतात ते सेल सर्किटच्या बाहेर असतात फ्लॅजेला. पण हा जो ऑर्गॅनिझम आहे ऍक्टिव्हली मोटाईल असून देखील याचे जे फ्लॅजेला आहेत दोज फ्लॅजेला आर नॉट प्रोट्रुडिंग आउटसाइड. जे फ्लॅजेला याच्यामध्ये प्रेझेंट आहेत दोज फ्लॅजेला आर ऑफ एंडोफ्लॅजेला. दे कंटेन्स एंडोफ्लॅजेला. So this organism is actively motile and actively motile with the help of endoflagella. Endoflagellum म्हणजे कसं बघा एंडोफ्लॅजेला सपोज दिस इज अन स्पायरल ऑर्गॅनिझम. आता मी इथं लिनियर स्ट्रक्चर दाखवतो. सपोज दिस इज अन लिनियर स्ट्रक्चर. याच्यामध्ये किंवा ओव्हरऑल दिस इज सेल मेम्ब्रेन, दिस इज सेल वॉल आणि the space between cell wall and cell membrane is called as periplasmic space. Periplasmic space. Periplasmic space. So this is cell membrane. Inner layer is cell membrane, outer layer is cell wall. The space between cell wall and cell membrane is called as periplasmic space. This flagella it surrounds the cell in the periplasmic space. म्हणजे तो सेलच्या बाहेर जात नाही, तो कुठं असतो पेरिप्लाझ्मिक स्पेस मध्येच असतो. म्हणून त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो एंडोफ्लॅजेला. इनसाइड द सेल हा पेरिप्लाझ्मिक स्पेस जो आहे त्या पेरिप्लाझ्मिक स्पेस मध्येच हा फ्लॅजेला असतो आणि म्हणून त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो एंडोफ्लॅजेला. अँड विथ द हेल्प ऑफ दिस एंडोफ्लॅजेला दिस ऑर्गॅनिझम शोज ऍक्टिव्ह मोटिलिटी. Active motility. So what is endoflagella? Endoflagella means the flagella which is present in between the space of cell wall and cell membrane, that is called periplasmic space. And as it is present in the periplasmic space, this flagella is called endoflagella. Per cell means in single cell there are 3 to 4 endoflagella present. एका सेल मध्ये जवळजवळ 3 ते 4 endoflagella present असतात. Okay. Now, because of this endoflagella, this organism shows 3 different types of motility. Organism एक प्रकारची motility दाखवत नाही. आपल्याला माहिती usually bacteria swimming motility दाखवतात. As if the organism is rod shaped, then organism shows swimming motility. Few cocci also shows motility and that is also swimming motility. पण हा जो organism आहे Treponema pallidum याच्यामध्ये थोडी different टाइपची motility असते. They do not show swimming motility. मग कुठल्या प्रकारची मोटिलिटी असते त्यांच्यामध्ये? तर they shows 3 different types of motility. 3 patterns of motility. They shows 3 different patterns of motility. First, corkscrew motility. Corkscrew motility means what? आपल्याला माहिती आहे corkscrew असतो आपण स्क्रूच्या टाईट करत असतो. Similarly हा जो ऑर्गॅनिझम आहे it moves like this, like screw. So that's why it is called as corkscrew motility. This is आपल्याला माहिती आहे suppose this is a screw. These are the edges of the screw and we know if suppose we tie the screw rotates along the axis. This screw it rotates along the axis. Similarly, this organism it rotates along the axis and shows a motility. This type of motility is called as corkscrew motility. Okay, so organism rotates around itself along the axis and moves from one location to another location. This type of motility is termed as corkscrew motility. Okay, then second type of motility is flexion. Second type of motility is flexion and extension. Flexion and extension. Flexion and extension म्हणजे काय तर movement of cell. Suppose this is a cell. This cell it moves like this. Or suppose these are the 2 cells. These cells they moves like in a lateral movement. movement of cell is lateral. This type of movement is called as flexion. And what is extension? Extension means again the movement is 360 degree. Organism moves like this, like similar to corkscrew, but it moves little bit wide in the area, so that is called as extension. It extends itself in a 360 degree, and that way it moves from one location to another location. So organism कसं मूव होतो तर एक्सटेंड करतो स्वतःला अराउंड द ॲक्सिस. 360 डिग्री मध्ये तो काय करतो, स्वतःला एक्सटेंड करत असतो. आणि फ्लेक्शन म्हणजे काय, तर लॅटरल मूवमेंट दाखवतो ऑर्गॅनिझम. This is the second unusual type of motility shown by Treponema pallidum. Third, that is translatory motion. Translatory motion. Translatory motion म्हणजे काय, तर युनिफॉर्म मूवमेंट. ऑर्गॅनिझम मूव्स इन अ युनिफॉर्म डायरेक्शन फ्रॉम वन साइड टू अनदर साइड. So what is translatory motion? It is nothing but uniform movement, uniform straight movement. Organism starts move from one location and continues to move in a same direction in a uniform way, do not change its direction. That is translatory motion. So Treponema pallidum shows 3 different types of motility patterns, and these 3 different types of motility patterns are corkscrew motility, means movement along the axis. Then flexion and extension means lateral movement and movement in a 360 wide movement, and translatory motion means uniform in a single direction. So these are the 3 different patterns of motility shown by Treponema pallidum. Okay, now so this organism, it is a spirochete. It is an gram-negative organism. The most important thing is it is gram-negative, but it do not contains lipopolysaccharide in the outer membrane. आपल्याला माहिती आहे की ग्राम-negative बॅक्टेरिया सेल वॉल मध्ये 2 लेयर्स असतात. Inner layer is made up of peptidoglycan and outer layer is made up of lipopolysaccharide, phospholipids, proteins and lipoproteins. हा ऑर्गॅनिझम ग्राम निगेटिव्ह जरी असला तरी त्याच्या आउटर मेम्ब्रेन मध्ये, आउटर लेयर मध्ये लिपोपॉलिसॅकराइड ॲब्सेंट असतो. And that's why this organism cannot be stained by any normal staining technique, even though it cannot be stained by gram staining technique. So the organism is gram negative, but it is very difficult to perform the gram staining of this organism. What is the reason? Because the organism lack lipopolysaccharide in the outer layer, outer wall layer. त्याच्या आउटर वॉल मध्ये काय असतं, तर लिपोपॉलिसॅकराइड हे टोटली ॲब्सेंट असतं, आणि त्यामुळे याचं स्टेनिंग करणं, नॉर्मल स्टेनिंग म्हणजे सिंपल स्टेनिंग टेक्निक असेल, मोनोक्रोम असेल, ग्राम स्टेनिंग असेल, या कुठल्याही नॉर्मल ऑर्डिनरी स्टेनिंग टेक्निकनी हा ऑर्गॅनिझम स्टेन केला जाऊ शकत नाही. मग याच्या स्टेनिंगसाठी स्पेसिफिक स्टेनिंग टेक्निक्स यूज केल्या जातात. वन ऑफ द एक्झाम्पल इज फॉन्टाना स्टेनिंग. This organism can be stained by using Fontana staining technique. Fontana staining technique. मी आधी सांगितलं की हा ऑर्गॅनिझम एक्स्ट्रीमली डेलिकेट असतो, एकदम सेन्सिटिव्ह असतो ऑर्गॅनिझम, हा एकदम थिन असतो, आणि त्यामुळे काय की इथं हीट फिक्सेशन केलं जाऊ शकत नाही. सो इन Fontana staining heat fixation is totally avoided. Instead of heat fixation, chemical fixatives are used, and that chemical fixative is known as Fontana fixative. So chemical fixative which contains formalin is used to fix the organism onto the slide. Okay, heat fixation is intentionally avoided as organism is extremely delicate and temperature sensitive. Fontana staining मध्ये एक stain यूज केला जातो. That stain is called as ammonical stain, silver ammonical stain. In Fontana staining, a stain used that is called as silver ammonical stain. In this stain, silver or ammonical silver nitrate is used. silver nitrate is used. Ammonical silver nitrate is used. Now this stain is used. Normal stain आपण यूज करत नाही तर कोणताही ग्राम स्टेनिंग मधला स्टेन असेल किंवा कोणताही इतर स्टेन आपण यूज करत नाही. इन्स्टेड आपण काय यूज करतो इथं वी यूज ammonical silver nitrate. Upon heating, if this stain is heated, upon heating this ammonical silver nitrate gets converted to silver oxides. So upon heating, first the stain is heated, and upon heating it gets converted to silver oxide, and silver oxide precipitates on the cell surface. This silver oxide, it precipitates on the cell surface. So heating can be done by giving steam, so that the cell structure cannot be affected. त्यामुळे स्टीम देऊन ते सिल्वर नायट्राइड्स आहे किंवा अमोनिकल सिल्वर नायट्राइड आहे तर हीट केल्यानंतर सिल्वर ऑक्साइड फॉर्म होतो आणि सिल्वर ऑक्साइड गेट्स डिपॉझिटेड or precipitated on the surface of cell. As a result, the cell diameter increases and cell gets stained. So simple mechanism आहे सर. पहिल्यांदा काय केलं आपण ऑर्गॅनिझम पहिल्यांदा स्मिअर करून घेतला आणि तो स्मिअर केमिकली फिक्स केल्यानंतर आपण त्याच्यावर अमोनिकल सिल्वर नायट्रेट ऍड केलं. सिल्वर नायट्रेट ऍड केल्यानंतर त्याला स्टीम प्रोव्हाइड केली आणि त्यामुळे काय होतं की ते स्टेन आहे ते स्टेन इट गेट्स कन्वर्टेड टू सिल्वर ऑक्साइड and silver oxide finally gets deposited on the cell surface. It precipitates on the cell surface. As a result, the diameter of cell is increased and cell gets stained. This is the best method by which we can observe the organism. Fontana staining technique. Okay. Then another staining technique is there. Similar principle. That is called Levi-Ditti technique. Levi-Ditti's technique. Levi-Ditti's staining technique. त्याच्यामध्ये काय केलं होतं तो ही टेक्निक कधी यूज करायची. दिस टेक्निक इज यूज टू स्टडी टिश्यूज, अफेक्टेड टिश्यूज. डायरेक्टली ऑर्गॅनिझम न ऑब्झर्व करता इथे अफेक्टेड टिश्यू मध्ये ऑर्गॅनिझम आहे का हे बघण्यासाठी Levi-Ditti stain is used. So Levi-Ditti stain, for what purpose it is used? It is used to confirm the presence of organism in the affected tissues. That staining technique is called Levi-Ditti's staining technique. So this organism cannot be stained by ordinary stains, but it can be visualized by using Fontana staining technique or by using Levi-Ditti's staining technique. More commonly, this organism is, or it can be observed, the morphology of this organism can be observed by using dark ground microscope. By using dark ground microscope. नॉर्मल कंपाउंड मायक्रोस्कोप यूज करू शकत नाही आपण. डार्क ग्राउंड मायक्रोस्कोप म्हणजे बाय निगेटिव्ह स्टेनिंग वी कॅन ऑब्झर्व द मॉर्फोलॉजी ऑफ दिस ऑर्गॅनिझम बाय युजिंग निगेटिव्ह स्टेनिंग टेक्निक. निगेटिव्ह स्टेनिंग टेक्निक मध्ये आपण निगेटिव्ह स्टेन यूज करू शकतो लाईक इंडिया इंक. वी कॅन यूज इंडिया इंक. So more commonly this organism can be observed by using dark ground microscope. That means background is dark and organism remains colorless, and that staining technique is called as negative staining technique. And most commonly used negative stain is India ink. Here Giemsa's stain can also be used. Yes, Giemsa's stain can also be used for staining this organism. And after staining with Giemsa's stain, it shows light rose color. Light rose. So after staining with Giemsa's stain, organism appears to be light rose colored organism. So this is a morphology. It is a spiral organism, spirochete organism, approximately 10 micrometer long, extremely delicate organism, cannot be visualized by normal staining technique. It has 3 different types of motility and can be stained by using Fontana staining, Levi-Ditti stain, can also be stained by using negative staining technique like Giemsa's staining technique or by using India ink. So this is about the morphology of this organism, Treponema pallidum. Okay, after morphology, the next parameter we are going to study is cultural characteristics of Treponema pallidum. Cultural characteristics. So how this organism can be cultivated? That is cultural characteristics. Okay, cultural characteristics means how this organism can be cultivated. Okay, Treponema species जे आहे, Treponema pallidum म्हणत नाही मी, Treponema pallidum हे pathogenic आहे, but there are some other species of genus Treponema. Some species are pathogenic while the remaining species of Treponema are non-pathogenic. The pathogenic strains or pathogenic species of Treponema genus cannot be cultivated into the artificial culture media. आपण कुठलाही आर्टिफिशियल कल्चर मीडिया यूज करू शकत नाही फॉर कल्टिवेशन ऑफ pathogenic Treponema pallidum, but some non-pathogenic Treponema pallidum are successfully cultivated on artificial culture media. पुन्हा एकदा रिपीट करतो मी, pathogenic species of Treponema cannot be cultivated on artificial culture media, but some non-pathogenic species of Treponema can be cultivated on artificial culture media. Examples of those non-pathogenic organisms which can be cultivated on artificial culture media. First example, Treponema fajdinis. Treponema fajdinis. Now this organism has two strains, and these two strains are first Reiter strain and second Kazan strain. Reiter strain, there are two strains of this organism, Fajdinis, Reiter strain and Kazan strain. These two strains plus one more organism that is called Treponema refrigens. Treponema refrigens, and it has one strain, and that is called as Noguchi strain. Noguchi strain. So some species, these are non-pathogenic strains of Treponema. Non-pathogenic. As I already mentioned, some non-pathogenic strains can be cultivated on artificial culture media, and these are non-pathogenic strains. Treponema fajdinis strain Reiter and Kazan, and Treponema refrigens strain Noguchi. These organisms can be cultivated on artificial culture media like thioglycolate broth. These organisms can be cultivated on thioglycolate broth containing serum. Serum as a source of proteins and other factors containing serum. So these organisms, these two organisms can only be cultivated on artificial culture media. बाकी कोणताही पॅथोजेनिक ऑर्गॅनिझम आपण आर्टिफिशियल कल्चर मीडियावर कल्टिवेट करू शकत नाही. देयर आर लिमिटेशन्स. दे कॅन नॉट बी कल्टिवेटेड ऑन आर्टिफिशियल कल्चर मीडिया. सो Treponema fajdinis, Reiter strain, Kazan strain, and Treponema refrigens, Noguchi strain, they can be cultivated on thioglycolate broth, which contains serum as an extra supplementary nutrient. But pathogenic strain like Treponema pallidum, Treponema pallidum, it is a pathogenic organism which causes syphilis. This organism cannot be cultivated in artificial culture media. Then how to cultivate this organism? आपण याला कशा पद्धतीने कल्टिवेट करू शकतो? So this Treponema pallidum, it can be cultivated on testicles of rabbit. It can be cultivated in the testicles of rabbit. So rabbit testicles are taken, and in that Treponema pallidum or other pathogenic strains, species of Treponema can be cultivated. Testicles are taken, and in the testicle this organism is injected. Rabbit testicles are, it can be used for cultivating the Treponema pallidum. आणि याच्यामध्ये टेस्टिकल्स ऑफ रॅबिट मध्ये ऑर्गॅनिझम सेव्हरल जनरेशन्स ओव्हर द पिरियड ऑफ मेनी इयर्स it can be cultivated. First time it was cultivated in the 20th century, in the 19th century for approximately 12 years in the testicles of rabbit. So in the testicles of rabbit, this organism can be cultivated for several years. Several generations can be obtained in testicles of rabbit. So cultivation of pathogenic Treponema can be done in the testicles of rabbit. Besides this, it can be also cultivated in the epithelial cells of rabbit. It can also be cultivated in epithelial cells of rabbit. सो जे पॅथोजेनिक सेल्स आहेत त्यांना आपण लाईव्ह सेल्स प्रोव्हाइड करावं लागतं. लाईव्ह सेल्स लाईक टेस्टिकल्स and epithelial cells of rabbit, these can be successfully used to cultivate Treponema pallidum. So in this lecture we have studied Treponema pallidum, which is a spirochete. We have studied its morphology and we have also studied how to cultivate this organism, that is Treponema pallidum, in the various culture media. We can cultivate non-pathogenic strain in thioglycolid cloth, and pathogenic strain it can be cultivated in the live cells obtained from testicles of rabbit as well as from the epithelial cells of rabbit. So this is all about the morphology and cultural characteristics of rabbit. In next lecture we will study the resistance shown by this organism and antigenic characteristics of Treponema pallidum. Okay, thank you.